Hello everyone, today I'll be conducting a repair tutorial on a common issue most Xbox controllers have. Now, I recently repaired this one and the analog stick has been drifting up. No matter where I turn it, it keeps drifting upwards even when I attempt to click the L3. Alright, I'll try to make this video as short as possible, but it will be an in-depth tutorial. I'm sorry for the poor camera positioning, but in the future, through your support, I will be doing better quality content. Alright, so let's get to it now. So here we are. Pay no attention to my poorly manicured hands. Alright, this is the controller that we'll be looking at. My version 3. I love this one. Alright, you already have the lowdown of what's happening. So these are what you will be needing. You will be needing screwdrivers. I have 2 sets. They're old, but they got me through. You will need them. You will be needing a solder iron as well. This is to ensure you bring it back to its former integrity, because you don't want anything to stop be working. You might need a tester. You won't necessarily need it, but it's always good to have one. You will be needing a toothbrush, a solder suction. What else? Oh yeah, my box of knickknacks. You might have those in case if you are someone who does this thing for a living like me. Tweezers definitely always needed. A micro USB needed, and replacement analog modules just in case, because you never know, maybe it's the analog or maybe it's something else. So giving you a closer look at what that looks like. You can find all of these on the internet for sale, very cheap. And thinner, this will work hand in hand with the toothbrush, because thinner dries fast. It's very good for cleaning circuit boards. It doesn't cause any damage, well, not to the boards but to the plastic. I will be using my old laptop because this is what I used to work, so I will be completing the diagnostic tests with the laptop, not actual console. And it works better because I can see exactly what's happening, if there's any form of drifting, any at all. It's always better to work with a laptop, so I would suggest you use one. And this one is loaded with Windows 10, so even easier for the drivers. Okay, so getting into it right now. First thing, you pop the sides up. Yours might be a little more harder to get up, considering it might be newer than mine. I work on this one constantly, so yeah, I do a lot of things. This screwdriver, it's best you use it if you don't have the tamper proof. You use it to flip out the little nodes that are in the screw, the tamper proof ones, and then you go for the small torques. I'm sure you can find that in your tool set, and from then you just watch. It's very simple. For those who might not know what that small silver thing is, it's actually the solder welding. That is what we'll be using to hold down the wires with the solder iron. So it's a must. You always will need that. Like I'm showing you these points. Yeah, those are what you will be using the solder iron to detach and retouch later. Okay, so that was the Bluetooth module. That's what controls the wireless access between, or the wireless behavior between the console and the control, and any other peripheral that you might be using. Alright, so getting that out. Alright, so this next step isn't a rule, but if you're a technician, you will understand that your solder iron tip needs to be kept clean. So as we jump in, we need to make sure it's at the correct temperature so we can get to work. Alright, so there we go. Gently ease them off. No need to force it. Oh, I'm using my screwdriver base as a helping hand. You can find those on the internet for cheap, but I don't have one. Resource is scarce, as I said before in previous videos. So this is more of a low budget stay at home technician repair. You look at my sexy nails. So I'm just showing that the analog might be moving a wonky. So I'm setting my meter to continuity. That is what we'll be testing if there's any breakage in the circuit that might be causing the analog to be drifting up. I did some work on this before where I had to build back leads because of a common issue I noticed with the version 3 controllers. The leads easily break, but I will be doing an in-depth one focusing on that alone to show you how you can do it in case you met a similar in case you've been in a similar situation. It's not hard, but it requires a bit of finesse, and it's very good to learn, trust me. I've brought back so many controllers from the pit of death using this method, building leads and bringing them back up to standard, all of which I will be showing in future videos, so please look out for those in case you're interested. Alright, so jumping forward, I will be using the solder suction tool and the solder iron to remove the left analog stick, the analog module, if you will. It's not hard, just take your time and look at it. For those who don't understand how to do it properly, it's very simple. All you do, you gently rest the solder iron where the solder for the connection is, and you wait until said connection gets liquefied. Then you put the device there and press on it, and it will suck up the solder. It's not hard, and the more you do it, the easier it becomes, trust me. If you notice I flick it a lot, that's to clean the barrel of the device because solder does cool inside of it, and that makes suction difficult. Alright, so now I'm gonna be applying paint thinner. As I said, it dries fast and it's a very good cleaning agent. So when we applying the finishing solder, it will be easier to work with. This is a little tip. In case you are ever fully replacing a analog module, you would be wise to remove that little button there because it can help you with so many things. I mean, it can be used to replace the bumper buttons, the left and right buttons. It can be used to replace them, and I often have to resort to that. And I even used it on my baby controller to replace the resync button. I'll show you that in another video, but I have had fun modifying controllers, and that's a very good way to use it. It's fun, trust me. Now to the meat of the fix. When replacing an analog module for one that's generic, you might want to remove the nodes that are under it, because that can prevent the stick from being used efficiently when in play. It might cause it to pop up too much. Now this is just for the Xbox controller. If you are working on a PS4 controller, in fact, leave them when working on a PS4 controller. They were designed to be used specifically like that, so it's wise to just leave them. For this operation, I find the box cutter blades most efficient to remove the nodes. As you will see, this is something that requires a delicate yet firm touch. It cannot be rushed. I would not advise anyone rush it. Just take your time and do it, because even for me, as experienced as I am, it's still a little tricky to get around. without hurting myself. Okay, so now I'm done. Time to adjust the legs so that they fit in on the circuit board. Remember, don't force these things. Don't force them. Just take your time and put them in. There it goes. Now you will be seeing the difference. If you notice why I trimmed it off, look at it. Now look at the difference when I'm using a fresh one that still has the nodes intact. Now if you can see that there's space between the module and the board, and it doesn't provide the firmness you would want. I mean, look, it's wonky, it's getting shake all over the place. This is why you trim the nodes off. Now it's completely flushed and it's firm. So that is something you might not have known, but I'm always happy to help teach people. So gently solder these back on and we get back to it now. Alright, time to fit this back in its place. Alright, so gently, remember, please don't rush it. Alright, so you will be noticing right now that I'm not putting the whole controller back together. That's because I want to run the diagnostic to make sure the fix I did is correct. You may notice that my movement and the one recorded on the PC are a bit out of sync. My apologies for that. I need to get better at the editing. But as you can see, it moves in all direction, covering a 360 degree without any issue. Unfortunately, a portion of this video was not recorded. I was using my phone and it ran out of space, as luck would have it. What I'm showing you is where two leads are. I had to rebuild them by using thin pieces of wire and by connecting them to exactly where they should be. I will be making a video explaining and giving a proper tutorial on how to do that. I will be making the video as detailed as possible and aim to magnify the operation so you can see exactly what I did and how I went about doing it. Something like that is invaluable because it will help you to bring back almost any controller from the nether realm. As said before, I've brought back so many controllers and refurbished them, so I think this is a very good thing for you guys to learn. So now I'm just finishing reassembling the controller, so I hope you guys stick around and enjoy the rest of the video. Take care.